That for?
Jump on board with the designers of Hornby.
Like I said today, start a new era for Hornby.
Striving to shrink the scale.
And I'm looking at him, he's almost 100 years old.
The lovely ambition.
The other one starts at 8.
Engineering.
Life was lost history.
Yeah, I know.
That's what Model Y was all about. The design nearly in detail.
Well, the proof is in the pudding.
The brand new series of Hornby, a model on the road. The 98 on yesterday. Streamed for free on UK TV Play.
Magnifying glasses out, the iconic Mallard engine, right? Yesterday's new and exclusive visit to Hornby, a model world, is at 8.
You know that picture of him? Advertising the new series? With that building had arches on it. I was seeing the comparison.
What's the story there?
Well, when I was in drama school many years ago, I had to choose a stage name. It was really difficult to choose your own name. And one day I was on the Piccadilly line and the next stop was Holloway Road. And I thought, Holloway. City Holloway has a nice ring to it. And that's the name I chose. And that's why the station is actually very special to me.
This magnificent station in North London was built in the early 1900s as a part of the Great Northern, Piccadilly and Brompton Railway, known these days as the Piccadilly Line. It was designed by the legendary architect Logie Green, a man whose distinctive tiled aesthetic became the gold standard of underground station design. And, of course, featured in that first London Underground poster. To get to the truly exceptional parts of the station, the parts that ordinary passengers never get to see, I had to descend the emergency staircase. Because just beyond this gate lie the secrets of Holloway Road.
So we've seen the entrance into the station, and the original entrance is still in use. But this corridor that I'm walking up here would have been the exit of the station. Imagine all of the hundreds and thousands of people that would walk through these passageways, perhaps in their petticoats and top hats, on their way to work or maybe back home. You will soon notice that I love to talk about tiles. But when they're as well preserved as they are here, it's impossible not to get excited. This is the home colour scheme of Holloway Road Station. So each station on the Piccadilly line had its own colour scheme and tiling pattern on the platform and in the passageway. Leslie Green designed more than 50 stations on the network, using around 1.5 million tiles to decorate them. It was an art project on an epic scale, and yet so many of the original colour patterns have been lost over the years, so it's fantastic to see them still here. And the fact that they've endured for so long, even in public parts of the station, is testament to their clever design. What we're seeing here is the expression of the fastening mechanism of these tiles. So on the back of these tiles, you have this lovely kind of herringbone pattern, and then you put some concrete on that pattern and press it into the wall, and this is the impression it makes. And that makes these tiles stick to the walls for hundreds of years. The trains create a lot of vibration, so the adhesive down here needs to be quite a bit sturdier than your average bathroom splashback. And this particular pattern is really quite rare. Normally you see circles or other types of patterns, so seeing this in situ is a real treat. I've been lucky enough to explore these crumbling passageways on dozens of occasions. And the one thing I've learned is that it pays to carry a torch, because you might just stumble across something you've never seen before.
Or a place that doesn't have lighting still.
Word.
This is so exciting. I've never seen this in person before. This is a poster notice that used to be near lavatories or toilets in stations that were used for shelter during the Blitz. So I've seen this in photographs before, but I've never actually seen it in a station. It says, it's well to be clean, so be clean to be well. And it's to encourage the people that were sheltering in the underground during the Blitz to, you know, be hygienic, of course, because you would have hundreds, if not thousands of people in each station sheltering from the bombs above.
This photo shows that same notice displayed in the huge deep level shelter at Clapham South, where 8 sets of toilets were installed in 1942. No such luxury at Holloway Road, where shelterers had to make do with portable chemical latrines. But even this was an improvement on the early days of the war, when you were lucky if you had so much as a bucket. Conditions could be pretty grim, with one shelterer commenting, "The heat was terrific and the smell appalling." But since it was a daily occurrence, one came to expect it and braced oneself. It's little wonder the government wanted to encourage good hygiene.
So if this is here, that might suggest that this area was used as a temporary lavatory for people sheltering on the platforms below. Wow, that's incredible.
It's such a rare treat to see a poster like this, so rich in history in its original location. But I'm now heading to one of my favourite hidden parts of the station, and it also happens to be the site of one of the most bizarre things ever built on the London Underground.
So we're now in the disused lift shaft of this station. So this lift shaft never had lifts fitted to it for passenger use, but it did have something else fitted to it, which was rather strange. An experimental spiral escalator. Basically, it was a moving belt, and this spiral escalator would bring passengers from the platform up this shaft and all the way up to the ticket halls.
This extraordinary invention was dreamed up by an American called Jesse Reno, the man who had unveiled the world's first escalator back in 1895.
Now, this started to be constructed, as you can see, and it was supposed to be opened in 1907, but it never did. I wonder why. If you're thinking what I'm thinking, it seems a bit unsafe.
More like a crazy experiment.
And it's stored here at the depot. David Leboff's team discovered it. How on earth did you hear about this?
Well, I had a project that was doing work on the station to do refurbishment, and I got a call one morning, someone saying that they found the remains. And so people were called in to go in...
Of those escalators?
What we thought it was going to be. I thought this was just a historical artifact.
A piece of it, of course.
Removed and destroyed many, many decades before.
So what was it like when you found this then?
I was incredibly excited. I didn't know that this was still there. And it's really industrial